For this assignment, I'll be showing a tutorial on how Microsoft Excel's numerous built-in functions can greatly facilitate in data analysis. We do these tasks pretty much every day for whatever reason, and we're just sometimes unaware of the fact that these can be automated. And we keep on spending time on them to manually like having to do these. So even if it's like just a sum function or just looking up something in a table and you just want a specific value, and without having to manually look through that 10 row table, you can just do a quick function and it can give you the value you're looking for. So just to start off this tutorial, I will show you how to populate this multiplication table. So just to start off, I'm just going to get rid of these numbers just to begin with everything. So I'll enter 1, 2, and then I'll just drag this down. And then in order to paste another, I'm just adding this quick little thing. I'm pretty sure some of you are probably aware of this, how to transpose something across. So you just copy it and then you bring it to where you want it to be pasted, and then just go to the drop down of paste and transpose, and it pastes the value. It can be for text or numbers. It does not matter what you're trying to do. It can just switch the side of the text you are looking for. So so in order to fill this table, I use the fixed reference cell way. So I basically, if you can see, have a function. I basically have a function saying that the cell A7 times B6, but I have cell references for A7 and B6. So for A7, I only kept the column reference, and for B6, I only kept the row reference, just so when I'm copying it over anywhere, it copies over for the rest of the table. I don't have to manually go change everything. So if I copy this, if I erase these and just paste it over, I'll get a 2. And then if I do the same thing here, no, actually, yep, or this way I can drag it across or down. It will it will give me the value that I'm looking for. So even with the same thing, if we're looking to add a few more numbers to this table, we can just literally add in the number that we're looking for, and it like populates it by itself, because I can just drag it down and it will populate the rest of the numbers by itself. I wouldn't have to basically go in and do it again. So that was one thing. And then and their ways on the 100%, out of the 100%, and points earned and the total points. And we're looking to basically calculate their grade percent for each assignment. So for each assignment, I already did this, but I'm just going to do it again. So I use the isBlank function just to see if there is a value in C, column C, and since there is a value, it's saying it's false, and then I'm just going to wrap an if function around it, saying that if it is false, just keep it blank for the true value, and if it's not false, take C2 and divide it by D2 to give me the average percent. And then I'm just going to drag it down. So see how it gives me a value for each of the assignments. Column and then their closed numbers in column B. We're trying to accomplish and see if we can assign a number for a day that had an increased sale, basically. So I'm just going to use an if function. If function can be used for several things, and here's another example of using it. So if B2 is greater than B3, we're going to say that we want the outcome to be number 1. And if it's not, then we want it to be 0. And then just hit enter and we can drag it down. And we see that there are several days that the outcome was greater than the next day. So in order to get an average of it, we can do an average can be calculated several ways as well. So one of the ways is just taking the sum of that column and dividing it by the count of that column. And we get 55.55 average. Or Excel has an average function and we can just select these numbers and it gives us the value. Dates, their open numbers, close numbers, highs, lows, and their volumes. So what we are trying to accomplish here is that we want to just pick up 5 days and we want their data and we don't want to look at the rest of it. So what we can just do here is we can do the VLOOKUP function, but we want to make sure that we have the absolute values for the column because we don't want to change the column when we're copying it across. And then also for this, the next variable that it asks is where you're looking at from. So this is our table and we want absolute reference for that as well. And then it asks what column you want to pick up the number from. So for open, it'll be 2 and then false. And then parentheses close, we get the number. So in order to populate the rest of it, we can just drag it over. But you'll notice that the values are not right. That's because of the column that needs to be changed. For high, it's 3. For low, it's 4. For close, it's 5. That volume is 6. Once that's done, we can just grab it and then populate the rest of them. And let's say this is an assignment that's given to you by your manager, and when you see that there's no 6, 24, 12, and you don't see it in the actual data as well, but this data is showing you an error, I don't think this is the most presentable way of giving it to your manager. So I would add an if error function around it just to, so if there is an error, we would say that no data found. We would ask Excel to basically populate that cell with this instead of the NA. So when we copy this down now, this will show you how the no data is added. So we can do the same for all of these here. want to create a macro that can just, if we paste any data in this area, it'll be bolded by one click. So let's record it and then run it. So in the view tab, we can just go and say record macro, and you can name it whatever you like. I'm just going to do bold. Hit OK, and then it started to record. So I'm just going to select a range of data and then make it bold. And then I'm just gonna unbold this section just to see if it does anything. But obviously it'll record it, and then once we rerun it, it'll do the same thing. So let's stop. And now we can just unbold, like do unedit it, and then go to the view macros, my bold, and then hit run, and it'll give me the same results that I recorded. So yeah. So basically, I hope these will help you with like the beginning level Excel analytics and how to run a macro and record it.